Hey there, this is Clay. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be continuing our discussion about common misconceptions about the advanced relational skills. And in this one, we're talking about the advanced relational skill of emotional acceptance and empathy, okay? First of all, a big criticism that I have gotten and that some of the teachings that I share with you guys have gotten is that people say that, it's all about being a doormat. You just have to, say yes, be a doormat, be super accommodating, just sort of roll over and just kind of, let people walk all over you. Let your ex walk all over you. Let guys and women and all of it just walk all over you, right? That's all that Clay teaches, is just being a doormat, right? But I want to just clear it up by really addressing two things. Number one is that emotional acceptance and empathy is not about being a doormat, and which we'll get into in this video. And number two, which we'll get into some other time, is that emotional acceptance and empathy is not the be-all and end-all of what we teach. Of course, there is composure where you have to really be true to yourself and what it is that you want and what it is that you stand for, but you're not going to be able to get there unless you are first able to emotionally accept and welcome in what is actually happening in reality, okay? Now, this brings us to the topic of today's video, which is emotional acceptance and empathy. And I really want to clarify this whole point up, that emotional acceptance and empathy is absolutely not about just being a doormat, just about saying yes blindly, just about letting somebody walk all over you or anything like that. In fact, what it is really about is just about getting real with what's actually happening, okay? Because so many times people just emotionally resist things that are happening. Maybe you're still in love with your ex, or maybe you met a guy or a girl or something like that, and you find out that they're dating somebody else, right? Oftentimes, this can cause people to resist, to push away what is actually happening in reality. So first of all, just understand that when you say, no, I can't believe you're dating somebody else, this is terrible, why is this happening, why is this always happening? First of all, when you do that, on an emotional level, you're not changing the fact that they're dating somebody else. They are still dating somebody else, right? So resisting the fact that they are dating somebody else, in this example, you are not changing anything about reality. It is still happening. The fact that you are freaking out and panicking and resisting it is not adding anything to the situation. It is not contributing to changing the situation. It is not making any difference whatsoever to what is actually happening out there. Okay, so if that is the case, then why do we resist it emotionally? It's because we are not emotionally okay with what is real. And when you can be emotionally okay with what is real, then you can emotionally welcome in and accept what is happening. Okay, now this doesn't mean being a doormat and just being like, oh, that's great, you're dating other people, that's awesome. I hope you date like 20 other people, because that would be amazing if you were dating 1 million people and I was just kind of on the sidelines waiting for, you to have a spare Sunday afternoon or something. That's not what I'm suggesting at all. What I'm suggesting is that you just get real about what is happening, because when you get real about what's happening, you are in a much better, grounded, and composed place to actually do something meaningful about it. Okay? So, for example, if you find out that this person that you like is dating somebody else, you can, one, resist it, push it away, say, no, I can't believe this is happening, I'm just going to look away, I'm going to pretend it's not happening, I'm going to freak out, I'm going to panic, I'm going to, tell myself some story about how men or women are dogs and you can't trust them or whatever. I can go into all of that, but that's not going to change anything out there. But if you accept it and you're like, yeah, okay, that's maybe not what I want, but that's actually what's really happening. I'm not pushing it away. I'm just kind of saying, yeah, that's what's happening out there. I'm going to take a deep breath, welcome it in, accept that it is happening. That's why we call it acceptance, okay? And from there, you can move on to the next relational skill, decide what you're going to do about it, okay? But first you have to accept it, right? If you're just pushing it away and resisting it, you're not going to be able to do anything different about it. Now, here's how this actually helps to create a stronger connection between you and your ex, you and a guy, you and a girl, any sort of interpersonal situation, right? This is how this works. This doesn't just happen on big things, right? When you're, find out that they're dating somebody else or something like that. It happens in these small moment-by-moment things, okay? Like, for example, I'm a guy, for example, okay? So let's just say I'm a single guy and I'm out on a date with a woman, right? Now, I could be out of emotional acceptance, out of empathy with what is real, with what is actually going on. And I could see her as a woman, one of those people to put up on a pedestal. You have to be real nice and pleasant to them so that she'll reward me with sex because I'm a good little boy and I'm a good pickup artist and I know how to do the cube and I know all this like BS canned routines and all this bullshit. And that's going to pull me out of reality. That's going to cause me to resist the reality. And so what is the reality, right? Sure, she is a woman, but more than that, she is also a human being. And as a human being, she has emotional experiences just like I do, okay? And so when I can actually accept that and realize that she is a human being who has emotional experiences just like I do, suddenly I don't have to perform for her like a pickup artist. I can just have an actual, legitimate, real, open, honest conversation with her about the emotions that she's experiencing, the emotions that I'm experiencing, and suddenly we're connecting in a much deeper way rather than, making up some BS story about how my ex-girlfriend is a supermodel and she's jealous or something like that to, demonstrate higher value. So my point here is that when you are actually able to connect with somebody on an emotional level and have that deep connection, what's happening is that you are accepting them. You are accepting them where they are at. You are accepting the reality of them, okay? And when you are resisting the reality of them, you're buying into labels that you put on people. Whether that's this person's a man, this person's a woman, this person is the key to my happiness, this person can validate me or invalidate me, or anything else, right? And of course, this applies to external things as well too, like, when you find out somebody's dating somebody else, somebody said something about you that's less than flattering, or whatever. And so I hope this clears up this issue about emotional acceptance, and I hope that you can understand that this is absolutely not about being a doormat, not about just saying, yeah, cheat on me again, this is great, yeah, let's do it, yeah, cheat on me again. No, it's not about that. So anyway, I hope this clears this up. If you want to learn more about how to get the relationship that you want, whether that's restoring things with your ex, whether that's meeting the girl of your dreams and getting a date with her and getting commitment from her, whether that's meeting the guy of your dreams, getting a date and getting commitment from him, or anything in between, please head on over to relationshipinnergame.com, fill out a quick painless survey that just kind of lets me know where you're at in the whole dating and relationship journey, and sign up for our newsletter so that we can send you tips, advice, and strategies to help you on your dating journey to happiness. Take care.